Well, I will mathematically congratulate Luton and Barnsley because, to be honest, they've deserved it more than us over the course of the season so far. Although what I will point out is that the season still isn't over yet. Now, does that excuse tonight's result? No. I mean, I didn't watch the game, I was at work, but I've watched the goals. Catmull's goal was a good header, to be fair. Will Grigg hits the crossbar. Of course, it's natural that every single keeper we come up against has to have a worldie, or we have to hit like the crossbar like 50,000 times. But either way, look, well done to Fleetwood. Obviously, I can't stand Joey Barton, but I'm going to take Joey Barton out of the equation. Well done, Fleetwood. Good result for yous. I think it's your last home game, correct me if I'm wrong. So, well done for yous. But, you know, as for us, like, how many points have we dropped from winning positions this season? And I'm not one to say, oh, Ross out. I'm not going to be like that fickle or anything. And that's not a dig at fans, by the way. I just think people can't let this season overshadow what's happened since he's come into the club. Now, does that mean I think Ross is immune from criticism? Absolutely not. I think that Ross, I've said it countless times and I'll still stick by it. Even though I didn't watch the game tonight, I think that Ross waits far too long recently to make changes in games. I think he sticks with his favourites a bit too often, but that's not exclusive to him. That's every manager that does that. But on the other hand, people have got to remember that he literally clobbered together a squad in the summer and hoping that it gelled. How many times does that actually happen in football? None. Or very rarely does it happen. And I don't want people to let this overshadow what happens with the owners, because the owners, for me in general, off the pitch, I think off the pitch we've been brilliant this season. I think we've been much tougher to deal with in the transfer market, which we should have been anyway. But it's good that we're not getting taken up the backside all the time. And it's good. And sometimes this season it's been all right, but what annoys me is the amount of, I mean, people keep going on about the amount of draws. I'm getting a bit sick of that. It's not the amount of draws we had, it's that a certain few draws have cost us. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Scunthorpe, Oxford and Peterborough are the three that's cost us the most. You're winning 1-0 going in the 87th minute, roundabout then, of all three games, and you don't hold on in any of them. It's pathetic. And then you look at the last three games, we've now dropped 7 points in the last three games. And I'm not saying obviously we had the right to beat Peterborough, Portsmouth, Field, Cotswold. We have no God-given right to beat anyone. But my point is, we were ahead in all three of those games, and we didn't hold on in any of them. Does it mean that Ross is intentionally telling people to sit back? No, I don't think it is. I think that I think obviously the players apparently were gutted tonight, so that tells a lot. At least that, unlike the last couple of seasons where we had useless bottlers, this time we've got players at least seem to care. Ross, I don't think intentionally tells them to sit back or tells them to not go forward. But it is kind of annoying that I'm getting a bit sick of this whole, we don't kill teams off, that's why we lose. No, we don't kill teams off, that's a factor, but that does not mean that you have the right to go and switch off and let Fleetwood score 2 goals. We gifted them the win based on that. We should be winning that game from that position. Do we have a right to? No, but as a Sunderland fan, it's infuriating that the amount of times we've been in front this season and not kept the lead. It's really starting to annoy me. Look, I've said all season, I think that we'll get promoted I said that recently, I think we'll get promoted by the playoffs. If we defend like that, got no hope in hell of doing it. What was annoying as well is that if we'd bothered to hold on to the win tonight, we would have been third. And although obviously, and I know people could say, oh, mathematically you could still get second now. That was gone after Peterborough, that realistically. But more about, we could have faced Doncaster, which wouldn't have been an easy game, but on paper would have been easier. But I suppose playoffs are a lottery, isn't it? Look, let's just get Southend out the way. To be honest, that's a much bigger game now for them than it is for us. For us, really, it's all about just trying to get in a home leg second, which is still important. I still want to win at the weekend, but let's just get the playoffs and let's just see what happens. Hopefully the meltdown will calm a little bit, but I think fans have a right to be a bit agitated after that. But obviously I didn't watch the game, so if you watched the game, comment below, tell me how rubbish it was, and come on, just bring on the playoffs. Let's get through Southend first, though.